Hello everyone. Today we're going to paint another hummingbird. I'm going to turn the camera around so y'all can see it in the right direction. Now I've done painted the background and I used green, ultramarine blue, and a little white. And I just kind of made it a little cloudy looking. And I painted the edges of it. And I've got my hummingbird and my flowers drawn. And I'm going to get a little bit of the magenta mixed with a little white. And I'm going to start on one of my flowers. And I'm going to paint so far down with the magenta and white. I'm using a round brush. And I'll get a little bit of the magenta that's not mixed with white. To show the shadow. And we may have to come back in and put some brighter highlights on it. If we do, I will let you know. We're going to use the magenta without the white and come up from the center. And we'll do that on all 4 of the petals. And we'll come back and mix some with white and come down on them. And to do that, you just kind of flick your brush in a downward stroke. And we'll come back and go over this one a little more. We're going to go back into the magenta without the white. And kind of stroke back up into the highlights. And we'll move on and do the same thing for the other flowers. We're going to start in the center. And bring up the dark. And then we'll go back to the white mixed with the magenta. And same thing, just flick it down. we'll go on to the next one. Same technique as the other two. And if your drawing goes over to the side, be sure not to forget that. Okay, we'll rinse our brush out. We'll get a little bit of the green, and it's sap green, and we're going to mix that with a little yellow so we can come on here and make us some leaves. And don't forget the sides, where that it comes to the sides. And we'll put one more up here, kind of hiding back in the back. Make us a stem over on the side to pull our leaf down to. And that's all we're going to do for the flowers right now. We'll rinse our brush out good and clean. I'm going to get a little bit of black or purple. To make our beak dark. And we're going to use a smaller round brush. May have to add a little water to your mix to get it to flow off of your brush easier. Okay. We'll use that same color to color in our eye. And we're going to step back to the other round brush that we had in the beginning, and we're going to start putting in some colors now to our hummingbird. Now I'm going to put some red right here at the neck. And they will be multiple layers on the hummingbird, because we have to put the feathers on it. And any places that y'all have trouble on getting your brush through, you can always switch to a smaller brush. There we go. We're going to use the ultramarine blue on the feathers. And the wings. And we'll get a little white and mix with that. Get us a little green and mix with that. Try to get us a teal color. And come up with that color on the bottom of the wings. We're going to mix a little yellow in with that ultramarine blue. And make its little belly right here. Now we'll have to come back with some highlights. So if it looks like it's blending in, don't worry about it because we will be coming back with some highlights on it. And we're going to put yellow on this breastplate on its chest. Now we're going to switch to a smaller brush. I got a small flat brush and we're going to use that to do the feathers. We'll take some of our red and mix it with white, which will give us like a pink color. Okay, going to do the same thing with the ultramarine blue. We're going to get a little white, mix with that, make that color a little brighter. And now we're going to come in and make some feathers on him. To do the feathers on the wings, we've got to get a little more white mixed in. when we get to them. Right now we're going to add some white to our teal color. Make it a little brighter. And let's see how, there we go. Perfect color. And we're going to come up on its belly here. And we're also going to do the wings right here. And you just make swipes with your brush straight up. Try to curve when you get back to the end of the feathers. We'll do the same thing to this one. Now we go back and put our blue feathers on. Okay, and we like our yellow. To do the yellow, we get a little bit of the yellow, mix some white with it to make it brighter. And we come in and make our little feathers right here at the breastplate. And you may want to go over those red feathers to make them show up a little better. If you do, that's just fine, because that would just give more highlight to it. And we're going to take a little bit of white with that purple color and try to highlight the top of our beak. And to do that, you just make a stripe along the top of the beak. And we'll paint in the eye a little better. We're going to dab just the tip of our brush into the white, just to get a little highlight there. And that had a little too much water on it, so we're going to mash some water out and try that over. Just a little dot is all it will take. There we go. That shows the eye up. Now we'll take that little flat brush that we had, and we're going to go back over our highlights down here on our flowers a little bit, and bring that color in a little more. A little better, and just swipe it. Give your brush a flick. This just brings a little more depth to the flower petals. Here we go. And we're going to take some green and put our stamens out through there. And to do that, you get water down your green pretty good so that it will flow off at the end of your brush. You may have to add a little white to the mix. We'll get a little bit of yellow to make us a dot at each end of the stamen. Now to make that top of his head shine a little bit, we're going to get some more white and add in with that red. Make it a little brighter. And then we'll get just some white. Try to highlight that up a little. I'm going to take just a line of the blue across the top of the wings to show separation. And we have finished painting. Let me know what you think of it. All you have to do now is sign it. And when you're signing it, think of a place to sign that's not going to take away from your painting. And you can use a paintbrush with some paint, and you water your paint down enough to where it will slide right off of your liner brush. Or you can use a marker, whichever one you find the easiest. Until next time, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you being here to watch, and God bless.